Hey everybody, and welcome to another Minecraft coding tutorial. Today we are looking at, we're going to be making a custom chest and a custom GUI. Now, this is going to be a two-parter. There's a lot of code to write, and I'm pretty sure that this first half is going to take about an hour, and then we're going to have another tutorial. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. I'm writing the code, and then before I forget it, I have to record it so that, I don't forget anything, and that everything works out good. So I've been working at this for the past few days, coding this out, figuring out everything I need to do to get it working. I don't have textures working yet. That's something we'll look at in part two for our chest. And with the chest, we're gonna be custom GUI and stuff like that. So we're gonna pull up Camtasia, or not Camtasia. We're gonna pull up Eclipse here. Eclipse. Fantastic. So we're opening in Eclipse here, and we're going to get started. So I'm just going to expand my project Explorer. I hope you guys can see this text. You should be able to. You shouldn't have really any problems there. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down to where we defined our blocks last time, our sapling, log, and leaf. Press enter twice to create a separated line, and we're going to create two blocks. Redstone wood planks and public static block, and I spelled public wrong, so I'm going to fix that right now. Public static block, and then redstone chest is what we're going to call these. And then we gotta go define them, or do the settings and things like that as we normally do. So we're gonna scroll down, way down to our blocks and ores. Same thing. Press enter twice to set some, to have some space in between them, just to keep everything neat and tidy. We're gonna start with the plank. So redstone wood plank is equal to new. What is it? Redstone wood plank. Block redstone wood plank, actually. I mean, you seem to have an error. That's probably because I typed it differently up here. Wood planks. Yeah, I don't want wood plank. Just wood plank is good, not wood planks. Don't want wood planks. Why is our creative tab stuff not working? Add argument, creative tab, string. Did I forget something up here that is causing this to happen? It might just because this line's not finished. So we've done that. We're going to give it an ID of 1020, and then we can move on to all of our parameters and stuff. So set unlocalized name, and we're going to set it to redstone chest. And as always, my code will be in the description. Well, there's a link in the description to compare your code to mine. Always do that first before commenting, because sometimes you can find errors because it's just a simple typo or something like that. Or you could have mistyped something. You could have misheard me say something and typed something different. And so you can solve a lot of your problems without having to wait for me to reply, since I haven't been able to reply frequently as I used to, since I'm working now. So anyway, so we're going to set the step sound, dot set steps down, set step sound, capital S on step, capital S on sound. Within the parentheses, we're going to type in block dot sound wood footstep, and then we're going to set the hardness and the creative tab. So dot set hardness is going to be equal to 1.5F, and we're going to set the creative tab. This dot red tab. Bam. And then we're going to do the same thing for our chest. So actually we can pretty much copy this entire thing because it's all the same. So copy and paste the redstone wood plank, and just change the variable name. So redstone chest. Change this this class file. So block redstone chest. Actually, yeah, this shouldn't say redstone chest here. That should say, if you caught that, then fantastic. It should be redstone wood plank. And I think that's about it. And we have to say that's about... Oh, the ID has to change. We got to change the ID to 1021. And we should be all set in that section. We got to give one more we got to give one more parameter to the redstone chest, and that's material.wood. And that's pretty much it there. So now we can go and move on to doing we're going to register our blocks now. So we're going to go down to where we do that, all the way down here. Redstone sapling. Again, you can just copy this stuff over and over again. So I'm just pasting it twice. Redstone wood planks, or redstone wood plank. Copy and paste to replace all the redstone sapling in the first one, and then type in redstone wood plank, or wood planks, I guess, because they are planks. They're not. It's just not one plank. And then redstone chest. Copy that, paste that, and that there. And then redstone chest. So there you go. You can do all that. And then we're going to go add a crafting recipe for our logs to be turned into the planks, and then for the planks to create the chest. Okay, so I'm just going to go define recipes for planks and chest. So game registry dot add recipe, and I'm going to go new item stack, and where we want to create redstone plank, redstone wood plank. We want it to make 4 of them, because we're basically just going to copy the same as a normal recipe. So one log creates 4 planks. And then new object. Excuse me. Okay. Plank, new object, and now we're going to do our crafting recipe. Okay, so we just need to have the 1 in there, and then that, and then redstone log. There we go. So this is our layout. So then the first one, we're just going to put in W for wood, W in there, and then bam, recipe is finished. So I'm going to just put a comment at the end for planks. And then game registry dot add recipe, new item stack. And now we want to create the chest. So we're going to go redstone chest, comma 1, since we only want to make 1. And then after that next closing bracket, comma space, new object. You guys should know how to create recipes by now, because you guys have probably created tons of them for all your awesome items in your mod and all of your mods. So for the chest, we need to have all 3 rows, which we'll just do that out right now. So that's 1, 2, 3 on the top, and then 1 space. So www, W space W, and then www. That's gonna create a box. And then we gotta tell what W is, which is always gonna be, or which in this case is gonna be redstone Redstone wood plank. And spell it right is a fantastic idea. There we go. So we're still having errors. So let's go look at these. So we're having errors right about up here. Oh yeah, because we haven't created those classes yet. There we go. Okay, so now we're gonna go create these classes for all of these files. So we're gonna hover over the plank first, the planks, and we're gonna go down to the bottom of this list. Yours may be on top, but we're gonna click create class, and this is gonna go in .block. Alrighty. Okay, it's gonna open up this file here. I forgot to open it up in my. Okay, so so this here, I got a lot of stuff in here. Extends block, it's a block, blah blah blah. Right. Okay, so go up into net.minecraft.block again and look for block plank or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's what it is called. Or maybe it's called wood plank. I forget what it was. Wood. Block.wood is what we want. Again, just like we did for our sapling and all that stuff, copy and paste the code into your wood plank. Delete 3 of the sub blocks since we don't need those. And textures, right? We'll get to those after. We're not going to do this. What did I type for that? Okay. So I typed in, and actually that's really stupid. I did it that way. So I'm going to go redstone tutorial. I'm going to do a colon, and then planks underscore, close the closing double quote plus wood type I. And then we're going to delete. We're gonna go up to the top, delete all of that, and then type in redstone. We're only gonna have the one in there. Change your package as normal. So change package declaration. Rename type to redstone to block redstone wood plank, and import everything else that needs to be imported. And that's gonna fix everything. We're gonna get rid of this set creative tab. We don't need it, because we're setting it outside. I'm not sure if I went over this in the last tutorial. I'm pretty sure I did. But if you set your creative tabs, like when you first define them, if you set them to, let's see if I can find them. If you go public, right here. So if you go public static instead of just public creative tabs, then from here you can go redstone main dot red tab, and you can pull it up, and that will work as well. And remember, redstone main is whatever the name of your main class file is. Okay, so I'm just going to delete that because we don't need it. And everything else can pretty much stay the same. You don't have to change any of the other settings except for the texture here, which we'll put in before we launch it to make sure the blocks work. And then, take out the sub, three of the sub blocks, and get rid of all of the wood types out of that array, and then except for jungle or one of them, and change it to redstone, and we'll be good to go that way. So we can now close that file. We are done with it. We'll never have to come back to it again. So now we're going to go into redstone block, redstone chest. Now, this one's going to be tough. You guys are going to have to bear with me with this one, and you're really going to have to pay attention. There's a lot of code here. There's potential for a lot of mistakes. So Just make sure that you're watching really close with this. Because since we're dealing with a chest, there's a lot more to it than what you already know of for a block. Okay, so we're going to create that class file. And we're going to start by our public class is going to extend. So extends, and it's going to extend block container. Okay, import that. Control Shift or Command Shift O, depending if your Windows is Control Shift, Mac is Command Shift. Press O to import everything, and then add the constructor, and then that error is not going to go away yet. I guess we have to add unimplemented methods. So in there, we don't have anything else in the constructor, so you can leave that alone. And then we have this create new tile entity method that was created, and it's returning null. That's fine. We don't need to change anything there, but we're going to add some stuff to here. So we're going to type @override, and then down to the next line, and we're going to type public void break block. And then parameters are world. First world has to have a capital. Second one lowercase. Because remember, for parameters, the first one is always the type, and the second is like the actual variable name or the parameter name. So it's type world with a name of world, and then we're going to type int x, int y, int z, int par5, int par6, and then we're going to type our put in our opening brace or curly bracket, however you would like to pronounce that. I'm going to go drop items. So basically what this code is doing, I'll put a comment on this. Drop items contained in the contained in the chest. So this is basically going to say when the block is broken. See, if we didn't put this, and let's say you put a full set of diamond armor into the chest and you broke it, you would not get those items back. They would be gone. So we got to make sure we have to define this, tell it to drop them at that location. So whatever items are inside of it, drop them right wherever the block was broken, which is what all those parameters are, have all the info for. So drop items, open bracket, and I'm going to type in world x, y, z, and semicolon at the end. Now, drop items is a method we do not have created yet, but we will be creating. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be the next one, but we'll worry about that after. We'll create that after, and we just got one more line to type in here. We're going to type in super dot break block, and then we're going to type in world x, y, z, par5, par6. Now we can create that class or that method. So create method drop items. It's going to have all the same. It's going to have it's going to have 4 parameters: world, int x, int y, and int z. And if you created it by hovering over top of the drop items in the break block function, it should automatically create those and put them all in there. And you do want it to be a private method. So we're going to get rid of this automatically generated stub code. And we're going to add in our own stuff. So we're going to type in random with a capital random with a capital R, random rand, and that's going to be equal to new random, two brackets, and then we got to import random. So again, Command Shift, Control Shift O, or hover over and click import. We got, and then on the next one, we're going to go tile entity. Now, you're going to be seeing a lot of this tile entity stuff in this. It's crazy how much tile entity stuff there is. And actually, this is a really long function now that I'm looking at the code again. It's a pretty big one. So we're going to give it a name of tile entity. And we're gonna make it equal to world dot get block tile entity, and we're gonna give it parameters x, y, and z. So you should be able to type world dot get block, and it should show up tile entity. You should be able to hit that, and then press X, tab, Y, tab, Z, and it will fill in all those parameters exactly the way they need to be. Now we got an if statement. So we're going to type in if, opening bracket, and then we're going to type an exclamation mark, and then another bracket, another opening bracket, and within there we're going to go tile entity, instance of, no capitals, I inventory. Okay, so I inventory, and then both of those, and then bam. And of course I spelled tile wrong again. And then I'm pretty sure with the import I inventory, so you can do that as well. Command Shift Control Shift I, hover over, and import is also another suitable way of doing that. So now that we've done that, there's nothing. We just got to type in return, and then that's it. Nothing else goes in there. Now we're going to be creating another variable called inventory. So then it's going to be of I inventory space inventory is equal to, and then bracket I inventory, because basically what we're doing is we're casting the type I inventory to, in this case, tile entity. Casting is like a technical term for I don't know if you could say it's changing the type, but it's basically saying, okay, in the case of this variable inventory, treat tile entity as I inventory. So I'm guessing it either has it's a thing. Okay, so now we got a big for statement to type out here. You guys are really gonna have to pay attention to this part. So for, and then put your opening bracket, int I is equal to 0. You can put spaces in between all of those. Semicolon, space, I is less than or left arrow, inventory, dot get size inventory, semicolon, space, I plus. Okay, so it's basically saying if I is less than get inventory size, or get size inventory, it will increase I until it gets to that point, and that's when the for statement ends. So let's say get its size inventory is 9. It's going to go 0. It's going to run through it. It's going to run through it, and then it's going to go up to 1. Go through it again. Go up to 2. Go through it again. Go up to 3, and so on and so forth until it gets up to 9. Right. So now we're going to type in item stack space item space equals inventory dot get stack item get stack in slot. We're going to put in I and semicolon at the end. You're going to have to import item stack again, hover over, click import or command shift / control shift O. I'll keep reminding you guys of that one. And yeah. All right, so now we have an if statement. Okay, so we got an if statement. It's going to say if item is not equal to. When I'm saying things like that, I'm basically explaining what it's actually saying, not exactly what I'm typing. So exclamation mark equals is basically saying if it is not, it's saying not equal to. Since two equal signs is equal to, exclamation mark equals means not equal to. So if item, which is what we created right here, is not equal to, let's see if we can find is not equal to null, and so you have to put two of those and symbols, which is shift 7 on most keyboards, unless your keyboard's different. I'm just trying to find my spot. And item dot stack size is greater than 0. So it's basically saying if it's not equal to null and it is there, we're going to do something. Okay? It's really, you really got to understand these, understand if statements and things like that. There's all these different symbols for stuff. I could actually go through a few of them with you right now. I'll just do this. You don't have to type this part out. Just watch and listen. So for if statements, there's multiple different kinds of statements you can make. So let's say we're going to have two variables, we're going to go A and B, okay? So if A, start with is equal to B. So that's one statement that you could have. I wish it wouldn't do that. Okay. So if A is equal to B, there's less than equal to, there's less than, okay, which is left arrow, which is shift, comma, and then there's greater than. So basically the way you want to look at those is, so it's basically saying that just look at the way the arrow is pointing. The smaller end, the pointy end means less is lower, and then the bigger end. So if A is less than B, and then in this third one, it's if A is greater than B. There's also less than or equal to. So that's basically saying, so if A is equal to 1, so it's basically saying if A is less than or equal to. So if you just say less than, let's say if I go if A is less than 10, actually I could probably, instead of putting B, I could put 10 on all of these. There we go. So if A is less than 10, this one right here, basically what's that saying? If it's 9 or lower. This one is saying 11 or higher. This one is saying 10 or lower. Actually, I'm going to copy this one again. Oh, it keeps doing it. Okay. Okay, so and then we have greater than or equal to. So now it's saying if it's 10 or higher. Yeah, it's going to keep doing it no matter how many spaces. And then there's not equal to. So those are your main ones that you're probably those are the ones you're going to use most of the time. And then you have your and your or. So I'll build off of this equal one. If it is, so say you want to say if it's equal to 10, but it's no less than 5, you could say and, so you could say if A is equal to 10 and A is greater than or equal to 5. So that's basically going to say, if A is greater than 5, but no higher than 10. Okay, so that's basically what that's saying. Where you could have, this could be less than 10, so it would be then no higher. It'll be is greater than 5, but lower than 10. Okay, so that's pretty simple. It's not too tough. And then there's or. So let's say you want to pick two different ranges. So you want to have less than 10 and then greater than 90, for example. Okay, so you could go or is two of those bars, which is the key above your enter, which is the backslash key. So shift and hit that and you'll get those. So that basically means or. So if it is 10 or A is greater than or equal to 90, so that's good. Now that's going to say if A, and actually I should put these in quotes. So, A is less than 10 or greater than 90. Or is greater than or equal to 90. So that those are all your different kinds of cases that you can use in if statements. So if you when it comes to coding other things in other languages like PHP, ActionScript and all this stuff, they all follow this same pattern of the equal signs, the less than, the greater than equal to, and so on and so forth. They all follow the same way. For doing this stuff. C++ does the same thing. C# does the same thing. So when you're coding stuff, if you need to figure out, you can use this knowledge you have now about if statements to be able to think of solutions to things yourself, rather than just finding someone else who has the solution for you. But anyway, let's get back to the code. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, we got to create 3 floats. So we're going to create float rx is equal to rand dot next float. Nothing needs to go inside of the brackets there or the parentheses, and we're going to go times 0.8f plus 0.1f. Okay, so those are all the same except for the name of them. So we have ry and rz. But everything else is the same, so you can copy and paste those. And we can move on. So now the next thing we're going to type is entity item. Okay, so type of entity item, and we're giving it the name entity item, is equal to new entity item. And we're going to go world x plus rx y plus yx or ry, and then z plus rz. Okay, so you got that straight. So that's there's a comma in between each of so x plus rx comma space, y plus ry comma space, z plus rz comma space. Okay. Next, we're going to type in new item stack item dot item ID, and item then comma space item dot stack size comma space item dot get item damage. That has some parentheses or brackets. You should have 3 closing at the very end here, semicolon at the end, and that line is finished. Okay, just import entity item, Command Shift, Control Shift O, hover over, and hit import. Either any of those will work, except for the keyboard commands, Command Shift Mac, Control Shift Windows. And then we have another if statement. So we're going to type 2. So when I do if statements within if statements, let's go down here. So let's say here, I always make sure I have 1 line above and below it, because it just helps keep the code a little bit cleaner, in my opinion, so it's a little bit easier to read, and you know exactly what is what. So it helps make stuff a lot easier. So now we're going to type if item dot has tag compound. Okay, that's all. I guess that's another thing I should tell you about if statements. Okay, this is the last thing. So if you just want to check if a variable has a value, so let's say you're creating a PHP script and you want to check if somebody's logged in, you would set a cookie named username, for example. So you could check, you could go if, then it's their variables are like that. So you can say if username. That's going to say if username has a value, what do you want to do? Show profile, for example. So you can also do that kind of thing in here as well. That's another type of if statement that you can do that could be useful on other things as well. Okay, so within the if statement, we're going to type entity item dot get entity item, open and closing parentheses / brackets dot set tag compound, and then we're going to type in NBT, all capital, and then another capital T AG compound. Okay, so it should be NBT TAG compound. And then after the closing parentheses, item dot get tag compound dot copy. Done. Import the NBT tag compound. Actually, I think we got to create that, don't we? Blah, 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 blah. I'm just checking here. Yeah, I think we do it. We do have to create that. Just looking over my code again. I'm going to copy it from here and paste it in here and see if it fixes itself. Is it supposed to be... No, it's supposed to be a parameter. We'll leave it for now, and we'll just move on and see what happens with that. We'll fix it later if we have to. Alrighty, so now we're going to type in float factor is equal to 0.05f. Next line, entity item dot motion x is equal to random dot next Gaussian times factor. Okay, and then entity item dot motion y is equal to rand dot next Gaussian times factor plus 0.2 f, and then we gotta do z, which is entity item dot motion z is equal to rand dot next, not next double, dot next Gaussian times factor. Fantastic. Now down to the next line, world, which we don't need that extra line there now. So world dot spawn entity in world entity item. That's the end of that line, and then item dot stack size is equal to 0. Okay. So yeah, so we'll look at that in a bit, in a second, and we'll figure that part out. Right, I think I know where we have to create that. I think I got it now. Yeah, I think I know what that is now. Alrighty, so my screen just went out. Give me a second. My screen may flash for you. I'm just unplugging and replugging in my monitor. I have to get a new one. Okay, so we're done with that. With the drop items function now, so we can get out of that, which is the second last curly brace or curly bracket or brace. And then we got one more method to type in here for now, and that's at override. And then on the next slide is public boolean on block activated. I'm going to type in world. These are all of our parameters. Int x, int y, int z, entity player, int metadata, int float. No, it's not int, it's a float. So float what? Float these, and float all of our parameters. Do that. Import entity player, and now it's going to be barking at us because we haven't returned anything yet. So we're going to go tile entity space tile entity. Remember, we're creating type of tile entity, giving it a name of tile entity, and is equal to world dot get block tile entity, and we're going to give it x, y, and z for parameters, x, y, z, and semicolon at the end. Now we got an if statement. So now if tile entity is equal to null, or player dot is sneaking, return false. Okay, player dot open GUI. So we're gonna go redstone main dot instance is the first parameter. The second parameter is our mod GUI ID, which we're going to make 0. World, we're just going to type in world, X, Y, and Z as all the other parameters, and that line is done. Import redstone main, and now we just got to create this this field. So click create field, and now that's not quite done yet. We got to change something with it. So it's just below the creative tabs. Find those. Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. Okay, so we got to change this to block redstone chest. So basically the name of our class file. All right. Now what do we have problems with here? I gotta change the visibility to public. Fantastic. So that solves that problem. Now we're still having that problem, but we're not quite done down here either. Let's go back over to chest and then return. I'm typing in the wrong spot. Return true. There we go. That's it. Oh my god. And actually there's one more file to go yet before we're going to be done this video. Okay, but I want to figure out why this isn't doing what it's supposed to do. I'll try and find it. Yeah, we should be able to import that, the MBT tag compound. So I'm just going to copy and paste that in and check. Yeah, we don't have it imported yet, so I should be able to NBT. Is that what I typed? NBT save. Okay, let's go up here. Let's grab that and paste that there. Save, still having an error. Let's see. I'm just going to open up a file from my testing project. So go to the desktop, click on my testing package, MCP, source, Minecraft, redstone tutorial, and then this is in block. Go into block and open up redstone chest. Okay, yeah, it should be that color. Net.minecraft. Okay, I'm gonna copy this line because maybe let's just compare them for a sec. May have typed something in wrong, possibly. I'll copy it and we'll see if there's a difference between the two lines. See, this is the this is one thing I didn't do. I didn't encapsulate it properly. So we have to add another open bracket or open bracket or open parentheses there, and then add one at the very end before the semicolon. And now that problem is fixed. So at this point, we should be able to load up the game, and we should have no errors. We didn't do texture, so I'm going to close this, and we're going to quickly do the texturing for yeah. Okay, so I'm going to hide that. We're going to go to the desktop, and I'm just going to grab it out of my testing here. Again, all I did was in Photoshop, I took a normal playing texture, adjusted it to make it red. You know, you can do whatever you want. I'm just going to grab Planks Redstone is the name of it. Go into Forge, MCP, Source, Minecraft, Assets, Redstone Tutorial, Textures, Blocks, and paste that in there. Now we can load up the game, and I'll have that part working. And then only thing we only got one more file to do after this, which is another 100 and some lines of code, and we'll be finished for today. All right, so we're going to create a new, we're just going to go into our world here that we already have created. We don't need to create a new one. Our trees are spawning in nicely. I still haven't been able to get the, somebody did post in the comments about, you know, the tree about why the tree isn't spawning on our custom block. But he says something about is plantable. I even made it extend block grass, you know, but that didn't even work, even though it's got code for that kind of thing. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but we'll deal with that. I'll deal with that later. So we should be able to take these. Let's just go game mode S, and we'll take these logs. They'll turn into planks, and these planks, they look fantastic. A nice house out of them, you know. Yeah, and then we can we gotta make a crafting table, so we need to get a crafting table. So game mode C. Let's grab one of those quickly, or just grab 4 planks and make one ourselves. Okay. And now we can surround the outside with blocks, and that's going to make our redstone chest, which right now has nothing. You click on it, it doesn't do anything because we haven't set up everything that we need to have it work. So right now it's just a block that you can place and destroy. And yes, that's where we're at with that. So now we're gonna save, quit, and we're gonna get onto this next part of the file, which is gonna get us one step closer to everything we need to have done. My mic just came off my stand. Put that back on. All right. So I think we got to go back into the redstone main file or into our redstone main file here. I'm just checking it over on my end. Oh yes. Okay, so we're going to go back into our redstone main, and down where we registered our block, our chest here, we need to do something a little, we got to add one more parameter to this register block. So there we go. Put a space there. Okay, so now on this new parameter, we got to type item block dot class. So we got to type in item block dot class. It's gonna bitch and complain. Let's see, redstone chest. Blah blah blah. I'm just checking over here. Let's grab that. Paste it over top. I think after we import, after you import item block, everything fixes itself. So we've done that. Now there's one more thing we need to do as well. Find tile entity. Right, we need to register tile entity. So we're just going to do this right. Where should we do it? We'll do it right down here below our spawner. So I'm just going to copy all the spacing. There we go. So we're going to go register tile entities is what we're going to type in. Entities. And we got to type in game registry dot register tile entity class register tile entity, and we're going to give it, we need to tell it a class. So we're going to create a class. We're going to be creating a class called redstone chest tile entity. Give it an ID. I was going to type, it's going to be a string redstone chest tile entity. Oh, one thing we forgot to do on this, we need on the first parameter is we got to type dot class, and now we can hover over the redstone chest tile entity and click create class, and we're going to be creating a new package called GUI, which is GUI, and press finish. So as you can see here, it's in the new package .GUI. Let's go over to that file, and then we got a lot of code to type here. But we're gonna get all the we're gonna get the base of it done for us. So we're gonna type in extends tile entity, and it's going to implements I inventory. Command Shift Control Shift O, hover over and import both of those, and then hover over redstone chest tile entity and add unimplemented methods. This is basically going to give us the basic stuff that we need to get all this done. So we have up here at the top. Okay, so at the very top here, before any of our functions, we need to create a variable. So it's going to be a private variable, type of item stack, an array, and we're just going to name it IVN. Okay, that's it, IVN. Okay, so now in our we need to create our constructor, because there's not a constructor isn't necessarily required, but we're gonna have one. So we're gonna type in public redstone public redstone chest tile entity, opening closing brackets or parentheses, and then down curly brace curly bracket, however you want to say it, and we're just going to type in return. No, we're not going to type in a return at all. We're going to type in inv is equal to new item stack 9 square brackets this time 9. Okay, so basically we're defining the size of our inventory. You might say 9. Well, that's pretty low. You know, that's tiny. Well, we're starting with this, and I'm not even sure how this is going to turn out. It may be, you know, like 9 wide by 3 rows or something like that, or 9 by, you know, whatever it is. But we'll see what it is when we start. When we get the whole thing finished, then we'll be able to figure that out, because I'm figuring this all out as I go along as well. But this is the code I got. So for now, copy the code exactly the same for the time being, because I'm not sure what's going to be coming up ahead that could possibly screw you up and cause you to have a lot more problems than you need to, especially when you're just trying to learn it. So the next one is the get size inventory method, which has an override. We're just going to type in return inv.length. So it's going to get the inventory size, and we're basically going to say, take the length of that array that we created of the item stack, which is going to be 9. Actually, it's going to be 10 slots. Or it's going to be 10, because they start at 0, so 0, 1 to 9. So 0 is 9, which is 10. Okay. Next one is get stack in slot. Take all that out. And we're going to type in return inv slot. They have it here named I, so we're going to type in I as this parameter right here. Okay. Now what's the next one here? We're going to go down to the set inventory slot contents, which has 2 parameters: item stack, and int I. Okay. Oh, excuse me. So in here, I'm going to type inv square brackets, I in the middle, or I in between those, is equal to stack, or in this case, item stack. Okay. And then create the 3 lines, because we're doing an if statement, And we're going to type if item stack is not equal to null and item stack dot stack size is greater than get inventory stack limit. Create your curly brackets or your curly braces or your braces, however you want to say that, and item stack dot stack size get stack size is equal to get inventory get inventory stack limit, 2 parentheses and semicolon at the end. Okay, so we got all of that fantastic stuff. So now the next is the this one up here, this DECR stack size method up here. Right, this one right here. This is the one that we're working with. I'll give you a second to find that. Okay, so within there you can just delete the return null and that comment that's in there, and we are going to type in item stack is equal to get stack in slot I, semicolon at the end, and I spelled that wrong. It's supposed to be capital I, and it's still going to complain because you don't have a return statement, but we'll get to that. You have an if statement, so 3 lines to keep everything clean. Now if stack is not equal to null, okay, that's all we got to type, and nothing too hard here. We got another, so there's going to be a lot of cascading in this. It's crazy. Actually, I'm doing that wrong. Don't want it within that. You want it outside of it like that. 2 more, create 3 with 3 lines, one in the middle, another if statement. That's going to be if stack dot stack size is less than or equal to AMT, which is the second, which is in this case J. Then we're going to do something else, and that is going to be set inventory slot contents I null. Okay. And now down of this if statement right here, space else, space, so make sure you got this, make sure yours looks exactly like that, okay? Okay, good. So now we're going to continue on, and we need to type in stack is equal to stack dot split stack J, semicolon at the end. Make sure you got that. Okay, so you got that. So now create 3 more lines because we got another if statement coming. So if stack is so we already did that one there. So if stack dot stack's size is equal to 0, then set inventory slot contents I null. Okay, so I'll explain this the best way I know how after we finish it, because we're almost done. So outside of all these if statements, which is this part of the code right here, so you'll have this at override here, right? You'll have this one closing curly brace. So these are here. Outside of all of those, just type in return stack. Okay, so basically what this if statement is saying, so if the stack is not equal to null, so if there's something there, then if the stack size is less than j, which I'm not sure exactly, is less than or equal to j, which I'm not sure what j actually is, set the inventory slot contents to I, set of I, set it to null, else split the stack into into two, or split the stack, and then if the stack size is equal to 0, set it to null as well. So we're covering all those bases. We got a few more pieces of code right here. Okay, so we just did decrease stack size. So now we're gonna find get stack in slot on closing, which is the next one down below. Okay, so we're gonna type in item stack is equal to get stack in slots, or in slot I, semicolon at the end. Now it's going to complain. It's going to complain because we're not returning anything. We have an if statement, so 3 lines. We know this. 3 lines. If stack is not equal to null, then set inventory slot contents I null. Okay, and then outside of that, return stack. Just gotta put semicolons at the end of these. Okay, there we go. So we've done that one. Now we want to go down to get inventory stack limit. So find that one. That's this one right here, and we're gonna return 64. Okay, we know how big a stack is. So get inventory stack limit. Yes, fantastic. Now, is usable by player is the next one, which is this one right here, which is right down below inventory stack limit, or get inventory stack limit. We have entity player, entity player, entity player. I'm just going to change this to player just to make it a little bit shorter. You can leave it if you wish. Just make sure that while you're typing the code, you're typing the code wherever I type player, you type in entity player. Okay. So we just got one line in here, which is going to return, which is the return line. So it's going to return world obj dot get block dot get block tile entity, and then we got some parameters, which is the X chord, Y chord, and Z chord. And then outside of all of those, outside of the closing parentheses or closing bracket, you're going to type space equals space this or type in space player dot get distance SQ right? Yes. It's just going to be X chord plus 0.5 F. No, just plus 0.5. The next one is Y chord plus 0.5. And blah, blah, blah. And then the next one is Z chord I did that wrong. There we go. Take that out and put it here. Okay, so then Z chord plus 0.5. And then after the closing parentheses, closing bracket, less than 64. Semicolon. Why is this giving us an error? Double, double, double. Do we do something wrong here? Let's take these out for a sec. You can just take the whole ending part off. So player dot get distance. So we have 3 parameters. So we have X chord, Y chord, and Z chord. And then less than 64. But we want to type in plus 0.5 on all of those chords. Plus 0.5. Plus 0.5. There we go. So we're done with that part of the code. So now we'll have open chest, which doesn't need to have anything in it at all. You can just leave it empty. Same with closed chest, same thing. And now we want read from NBT. It should be in here somewhere, so that's the bottom. So, unless those ones aren't in here, and we'll actually have to create them, because I did mine differently earlier. I think these are ones we actually have to create. Okay, so we'll do those. So those last two, we got 2 more inventory name. So we got to create 3 more of these things. So we'll just create them below closed chest. So add override, public void. We'll start with read from. We'll start with the read one. So public void read, capital F on from, capital NBNT, and then NBT tag compound. Tag compound. Okay, so we you have to import the NBT tag compound. Okay, so I'm getting really tired. Okay, so super dot read from NBT. We're just going to put in tag compound in there. And then we're going to type in NBT tag list. Tag list, where we're creating a variable tag list with the type of tag NBT tag list. And it's going to be equal to tag compound dot get tag list. And then we're going to put in a name inventory. All right. Ooh. This is getting really tiring. Import MBT tag list. And now we got a for statement. If I is equal to 0, semicolon space I is less than tag list dot tag count. There will be some opening closing braces on those. That's fine. Semicolon space I plus plus. And then within this, MBT tag compound tag is equal to open parentheses or bracket MBT tag compound. Oh my god. Tag list dot tag at, and then a parameter of I. Oh, this is going to be a long one. and this is only like this isn't even finished yet. After we're done this, we still won't be able to open up the chest yet, but this needs to be done for it to work. So, yeah. So then on the next line, byte slot is going to be equal to tag dot get byte slot. We're going to type in there and semicolon at the end. Okay, so make sure your code looks like this so far for this read from NBT function or method, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so give you a second to look that over. 3 lines because we're doing an if statement. Slot. So if slot is greater than or equal to 0 and slot is less than inv dot length inv slot, we want square brackets, not curly brackets or curly braces, whatever the fuck you want to call this stuff. Inv slot is equal to item stack dot load item from NBT, and then take this out and type in tag with a lowercase t. Okay. So that function should be done. Fantastic. On to the next one. Let's just keep plowing along here. So now add override public void write from NBT. NBT tag compound. Tag compound. Start with the function. What did I do wrong here? Right, yeah, because we went right the super. So we can go dot super, super dot write to NBT tag compound. Not tab comment. Tag, not tag, not tab. Okay, it's the weekend. Stuff's happening. I did do. We'll just keep going along here. Actually, public void. Let's see what it creates for a super when we have it create it. Okay, so it's okay. Let's delete that. I'm gonna retype it. So public void write from NBT tag compound space tag compound super dot write NBT tag compound tag compound. We'll just keep going. So NBT tag list. We need to create this again. Item list. I guess we're not creating it again. Well, we kind of are. Is going to be equal to new NBT tag list. Open and closing parentheses and do that. Okay, what does it say in here? Okay, so it says remove the add override annotation. We'll leave it the way it is, and we'll see if it fixes itself later on. Okay, so we've done that. Now we got a for statement. So 3 lines. For int I is equal to 0. I is less than ivn.length. I plus plus, not io plus plus. I plus plus. We're almost done, guys. Just hold on for a little bit longer. We got this and then one more to do, and then we are finished for today. Then we'll come back and do more another day. I'm even getting tired. Okay, so item stack. Stack is equal to inv square brackets I. Okay, and we got an if statement. So if stack is not equal to null, nbt tag compound compound tag is equal to new nbt tag compound. There we go. Oh, okay. Tag dot set byte. And we got two parameters. First one is going to be slot, and the second one is we're gonna cast byte. Actually, want to create another one, byte I. There we go. Whew. Stack dot. Why did it go up there for? I was down here. Okay. Stack dot write to nbt tag semicolon at the end, and down to the next line, item list dot append tag. So somewhat of a victory. So now why is it doing that? Copy that top line. I think it's pretty much the same, isn't it? Oh, not right from. Okay, yeah. Blah 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 blah. So it's not right from NBT. It's right to NBT. Now that's gonna fix that. Fantastic. So sorry for that mistake and any other mistakes I've made through this tutorial. Actually, we're not quite done this one yet. Oh my god. We got one more line to type. So outside of our for loop, which is this one right here, tag compound dot set tag inventory item list is our two parameters for that. Okay. Oh, okay. One more to go, and then we're done for today. So at override string get inv name. Okay, and actually we got to put this down the next line. And type in public string. Sorry about that. My god, I'm terrible. Rename method. Oh, it's already there. Guess we just gotta find it. Oh yeah, it's right here. Okay, so this this function up here, it's near the top. So I think find get inv name. And then we're gonna type in return and then redstone chest. Okay, and now we'll go back over here, correct anything that's wrong here. Everything's good. Run it. And after we run it, it's just to make sure that we have no errors, and because it should still load up and everything should still work. Oh. It's saying it's having a problem loading a block texture, redstone chest PNG. I never told it to do a texture. That's weird. Maybe it's... Yeah, where is it getting that from? I don't know. Anyway, we'll just go back to the game. Okay, so... single player, let's open this up and make sure that it's still working. So we have none, we can place it. Fantastic. So we are good to go. We're done for today. So you guys can take a break while I finish some more code. I'm not sure how long this tutorial is actually gone. How long this tutorial has actually gone for. Hopefully it wasn't crazy long. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter and all those lovely social places. I'll be posting on there all of my new stuff that I'm doing, to the status of tutorials and all of that stuff is going to be going up on that page there. On all those social networks, I post it to Twitter, and then it goes to I guess just Facebook and Twitter right now are the main ones that I use for any of that kind of stuff. I need some more planks. God damn it. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, if you even watch this on the weekend. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video tutorial, which will be up. That's too loud. Which will be up. I'm not even sure. We'll have to see. Because I'm working now, right? I told you that, and I hope I can keep on doing these tutorials. I don't see why not. So, like I said many times before, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video tutorial, which will be hopefully finishing our chest. And it's going to be fantastic. We're going to have a fantastic looking chest. It's going to be great. Or we're going to make it special. Anyway, I'll see you guys then.